My name is Benjamin Law. I'm a writer, journalist, columnist and screenwriter. I undertook an Asialink residency at Peking University in China in 2010 and participated in the Bookwallah project, which toured India in 2012. I got an Asialink residency to be based at Peking University in Beijing for 2 to 3 months, and prior to the residency I hadn't actually set foot in mainland China. I'm Chinese myself, but my parents were born elsewhere. My mum was born in Malaysia and has roots in Hong Kong. Similarly, my dad was actually born in the south of mainland China in Guangdong province. My dad then moved to Hong Kong. But myself, I had never experienced mainland China before, and it was the country that I wanted to research and write about for my book. Having that support of Peking University, them providing me the fundamentals and basics on how to actually settle myself in China was really important for me being able to concentrate on the task of writing. It was a life-changing experience, and I know that's a cliche for people to say, but without the Asialink residency I wouldn't have been able to write the book that I ended up writing, which was called Gaysia, Adventures in the Queer East, which looked at lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender communities and people throughout Asia. And the Asialink residency was instrumental in making that happen. After my residency in China in 2010, I ended up going to India doing research in that country by myself, which was a very different experience. There wasn't that infrastructure or support networks to do it, and I was in India for a month. But then 2 years later, after my book Gaysia, Adventures in the Queer East came out, Asialink approached me again and said, would you like to go back to India to do this crazy thing called Bookwallah? And I immediately said yes. When I tell people what the Bookwallah project actually was, they think it's absolutely insane. And they'd be right, it kind of was. It involved 2 Australian writers, in this case myself and Kirsty Murray, touring with 3 Indian writers, Shreep Sen, Chandrahas Chowdhury and Annie Zaidi, across India for thousands of kilometres, doing literary events and festivals. Not only that though, we were travelling those thousands of kilometres with kilograms, hundreds of kilograms of Australian books that would then drop off at institutions and libraries around the country. Added to that, the books were contained in kangaroo leather bound trunks. The Bookwallah tour in particular was actually quite instrumental in getting interest in a publishing deal that I eventually got with Gaysia with Random House India. It's actually very rare for an Australian book that's been exclusively published in Australia prior to get a publishing deal in India. Usually they go to North America and the UK first, and then the publishing rights trickle down. But I was able to have that direct conversation with Indian publishers because I think they saw, similarly with Gaysia, being a part of the Asialink residency afforded me opportunities to go back to Asia and be familiar with the people there, to have conversations as a part of Australia Week when a bunch of Australian writers went back to China. So it's made me acquainted with both China and India in ways that I didn't anticipate prior to either of these residencies and programs, and that conversation keeps going to this day.